Most people train for the first wave of hardship: how to gather, how to defend, how to endure. But the real cost comes later, when you realize some people you care about aren't going to bounce back. Not because they don't want to, but because something inside them changed, and they don't know how to return from it. And here's the part nobody likes to talk about. You're not always going to be able to pull them out. Sometimes the more you try, the more they slip under. And they'll take you with them, even if they don't mean to. I didn't learn this from theory, I learned it the hard way. First as someone who couldn't get it together, and later as someone who tried hard to help someone else. And what I've learned is this: knowing who to stand by and who to step back from isn't about giving up, it's about making sure something stable survives. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with a clearer framework: how to spot when someone's slipping mentally, how to know if they can be brought back, and when stepping back is the only way forward. Because you can't save everyone, but you can save the people who are still reachable, including yourself. After my divorce, I felt betrayed, not because she left, but because she didn't stand by me when things got hard. I thought love meant holding the line. I thought she gave up too early. So when I started dating someone new, a woman who'd been through her own version of pain, I made a silent vow. I'll do for her what I wish had been done for me. At first, it felt like the right move. We understood each other's past, but shared pain doesn't always bring clarity. Sometimes it brings chaos. I had just launched my own business. Money was finally flowing, but somehow we were still broke, still scraping to make rent, still living like we were drowning, even though I was pulling in more income than I ever had before. She was burning through everything I brought in, spending, consuming, spiraling. I had to start hiding money just to pay the bills. That's how bad it got. And even then, I didn't walk. I told myself, she's overwhelmed, she'll calm down, she just needs time, a little more support. But it wasn't just emotional instability. It was economic destruction. It was constant panic. And every time I tried to steady the ship, she punched another hole in the hull. The breaking point came over something small, something stupid. We were staying with a friend during the Portland housing crisis. I went to buy an ingredient. She wanted something else. She turned it into a meltdown. And when she realized she was losing control, she called the cops, made false claims, and in that moment, I knew, this isn't someone I can save. That was the first time I truly understood what my ex-wife went through. If you're trying to build something lasting, you need to know who's steady and who isn't. Here's what I've learned. Signs of someone you can work with is 1. They take correction without collapse. They're shaken, not shattered. They solve small problems first. They respect your boundaries. They want to grow and take action. Signs of someone who you can't work with, at least not yet. Logic makes things worse. They never take responsibility. They drain your energy without return. They sabotage good opportunities. They want reaction, not resolution. And here's the part nobody talks about. Even if you care, even if you mean well, you might be making things worse. If you don't have the clarity or emotional steadiness, your help might just reinforce the spiral. It's not about being a professional. It's about being equipped, being honest, being able to offer accountability when it matters. That's what pulled me out. Accountability was my first foothold. Not sympathy, not coddling, but the moment someone helped me see, you've got to take ownership because nobody else will climb out for you. When I broke down, my wife left, and for years, I resented her. But now I see differently. I wasn't functioning. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't able to carry my share. I was buried in anxiety, burnout, and emotional overload. I wasn't lazy. I was gone. From her side, I probably looked like I gave up. But from the inside, I was just trying to breathe. Fast forward years later, now I was the one watching someone else spiral. And this time, I wasn't the one who needed saving. She reminded me of myself, but with none of the internal structure. No accountability, no direction, no ability to slow the pain. And suddenly, I understood my ex-wife's choice. Sometimes, walking away is the only rational thing left. Because if you stay, you don't just lose them, you lose yourself. Again. This is the mirror most people avoid. It's easier to blame, it's easier to rescue, But if you've been on both sides, you know. Rescuing doesn't work. Healing starts with responsibility. Everything else is noise. This is one of the hardest lessons I'll ever share with you. You can only care about someone deeply and still not be the right person to help them heal. You can try. You can give them everything you've got. But if you're not ready, your presence won't stabilize them. It'll drain you. That's not cold. It's real. Because when you're building something serious, something stable, you don't just need people who've been through pain. You need people who've learned from it. People who own their outcomes. People who don't blame their spiral on the world. People who are ready to do the work it takes to come back stronger. And if you're serious about building with those people, you need to grab the Mental Triage Blueprint. It's a free download. It's the top link in the description. It shows you step by step how to spot who you can stabilize, who's not ready, and how to protect your energy either way. And if you've made it this far, listen closely. This is just one piece. If you skip the video, train for the psychological aftermath, none of this will work. You cannot triage others if you haven't rebuilt yourself first. You can't offer steady ground when you're still standing in quicksand. So if you missed it, go back now. Start with your own foundation. Then come back to this. Because once your mind is strong, really strong, you'll finally be able to see who's worth saving and how to stay standing when they're not.